Hi yogis, hi friends. Welcome to our practice. Hope you're all enjoying your 4th of July weekend. It's nice and warm and humid here in Michigan. Been out to the lake already with the dogs. Lena's laying right here and Camille just went into the other room. They're exhausted. So let's see if we can find a really sweet practice today. I'm feeling like I'd like to work on our hips and our pelvis and our legs today. So see if we can sink in, find your sweet place. Grateful for our mats, for our practice, for our community, for the time we can take now to let everything else soften and release, clear our minds and tend to our bodies. For this time, diving into our breath and our quiet. Feel what its senses are to be sitting on the earth. Feel maybe grounded and anchored. Stability, platform, purpose in place. Our sit bones and our pelvis, the anchors to the earth. The weight of your legs releasing down towards the ground. Maybe you can feel the energy moving today from your hips, down your thighs, out your knees, towards the floor. Remembering we are energetic bodies as well as physical bodies. Yoga, we find the meeting of the two. So feeling the roots, the energies grounding us, concurrently starting to feel the rise through the crown of the head. I've talked to you about the energy tube, like a garden hose that's just in front of your spine. All of the chakras and the bandhas, all the subtle body energies moving through us and creating these beautiful, stable points and energetic hotspots. Feel the tilt of the pelvis into the anterior canted place, like water spilling over the front of the bowl. Sets the stage for the alignment of the rest of the spine. It is truly this tilted pelvic bowl that allows for the rest of the curves to begin their journey, like a snake rising. Maybe feel the arch in the low back. Some of you that have too much of an arch might need to reel that in a little bit. Find that natural curve. In your mind's eye or with your hands, take them to the bottom of the rib cage and draw those low ribs in. Transversus abdominis is the muscle. Uddiyana bandha, or thoracic spine, is the energy block. We hold that segment together and aware so that when you bring your chest tall, what opens is behind your heart. We can find the de-rounding of that upper back. Release the hands, palms can be up or down. Up for receptivity, down for grounding. Maybe slide the elbows back a little. Open the heart. Feel the collarbones broaden. And that wonderful feeling of how the head slides back into its bobble-headed, unweighted place. Perhaps you can feel now that if you try to take your head forward, it just doesn't feel right. It feels like the balance has been achieved. Maybe close your eyes and in the mind's eye, feel the back of the skull aligned with the sacrum. Feel the earlobes just above the shoulders. Maybe even the support of an imaginary hand, an ancestral hand, helping to keep the spine nice and tall and our hearts wide open. Take a moment here and do a little survey of the internal architecture. Discovering today what's being fed back, not necessarily looking to change anything, more just a check-in for a moment. Your body, your mind. Where are you? A lot of monkey mind thoughts, chitta vritta, lots of things that you're ruminating over, things that are coming at you. This is a time to allow some of that to free up, unclutter our minds and unclutter our bodies. We'll take our conscious breath now, invite that breath, different than the breath that keeps us alive. It's our thread through our practice. It's the anchor. It's the thread through the whole entire practice. I suggest you inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth through pursed lips, or find something that feels more organic for you. We know inhaling through the nose warms and hydrates and purifies that welcomed prana. As we take it in to feed our cells and our system. And as you breathe out through your pursed lips, listen, you'll hear it. The exhaust leaves the body like the winds, and in those winds, all of the physiological and mental debris that we no longer need. How lucky to have our practice to be able to settle in for a period of time and shift the tides, shift the whole mindset. What a gift. Let's sit for a minute or so. We know we're practicing all around the world now in our virtual yoga room. See if you can maybe envision some of the familiar faces and maybe some people that you've never met. It doesn't matter. Collective consciousness, let's join our breath. Before you open your eyes, take your thumbs, cross them like bird wings, place them over the heart chakra, the center of the sternum, the breastplate. It's our compassion center. Feel your heartbeat inside your chest. We never lose sight of the magnificence of that heartbeat. Feel the warmth in the outside of the body in your palms. And please stop for a moment here to feel our humanness. Blink your eyes open, look at the front of your mat. Bring the gaze back up. Let's take our arms up, offer it up. So maybe you can feel the same I do. My sit bones, my legs, anchoring me to the earth. I feel that stability, and from that, my fingertips go closer to the sky. Close your eyes. Feel the sensations. Where is the resistance or some of the tightness or congestion in your tissues? Perhaps you can feel as you hang out here a bit longer, the side body starts to open, the waistline, the muscles between the ribs, the intercostal muscles starting to free up. Look up at your hands. Keep the low ribs engaged, and as you take your thumbs back behind you, what opens is your upper back. Not going into the segment around the lower ribs, but trying to open that rounded upper back. Put your head between your elbows and touch your palms together. Interlace your fingers, index fingers to the sky, our steeple hands. Same thing we've just done, feeling the grounding, feeling the lifting concurrently, a little side winding now maybe, starting to pry open the ribs and sending the energy and awareness to side body. Come to rest, maybe try to slide the elbows back a little bit farther and then press your palms together. Inhale. On your exhale, very slowly lower those hands through main central. We stop at the third eye, the tip of the nose, the lips, the throat, and onto the heart. When the thumbs are on the heart, rise up through the sternum. Feel again the de-rounding of the upper back. And let's spin the hands to the floor and release our neck. Fingertips hold the ground, right hand a bit more. Inhale. And on your exhale, soften that left ear towards the left shoulder. We know there's no striving here. There's no pulling. It's the opposite. It's softening. It's softening the whole right side of the neck here. Upper trapezius, the main culprit in the tightness. See if you can finesse your way down. Let's add a little muscle contraction this morning to help. Inhale. On the exhale, imaginary string pulling your right ear up towards the sky. The right side of the neck musculature will contract. We hold for a moment. And when you release that, the left ear will probably soften a bit more towards left shoulder. Beautiful. Inhale your head back up through center. And on the exhale, anchoring of left hand. Create that stability point. And then allow the weight of your head and gravity to provide the stretch. Maybe this side, think of the spine in a side bend. Creating some space for the nerves and mobility. Inhale. Exhale, take the left ear up towards the sky. Left side of the neck will contract. We'll hold for a few seconds. Release that, and the right ear will soften in right shoulder. Inhale the head back up to center. On the exhale, keep the chin on the horizon line. Make a left hand turn. See if you can find the movement in as many of the vertebrae in the neck as possible. At the end of your range, bring your chin up and down like you're shaking your head yes. Carve out the path a little bit deeper. Bring the chin back to neutral and take it around maybe a little bit farther. Inhale back through center. Exhale to the left, chin on horizon line for safety. Bring it around nice and easy. End of your range. Shake your head yes. Little bit of a nod. Carving out the space. Chin to neutral, take it maybe a little farther. Inhale back through center. Exhale around to the left. Feel that beautiful path we have cleared. And now a little bit deeper. Inhale, and on your exhale, bring your chin out towards or to the left shoulder point. The acromial process at the end of the scapula there. See if you can touch down. Inhale back up through center. Exhale to the right. Inhale. Exhale, chin out towards or to right shoulder point. Accentuate the stretch left side of the neck. Inhale the head back through center. And on the exhale, release the chin down, jugular notch between the two collarbones. Make it all from the neck if possible, all the movement and flexion in the neck, not from the shoulders or upper back. Inhale. On your exhale, trace your chin along the line of your right collarbone. It'll stay in contact with the collarbone. If it starts to release from there, just stop the movement. Otherwise, continue tracing it around. Find the end of the collarbone into the shoulder blade. Inhale it back through center. Exhale around to the left. Same thing. Keep it in contact with the bone, the collarbone, the clavicle as long as you can. Trace it around. Inhale back through center. Exhale, reaffirm press of hands and sit bones. Pull the low ribs in. Bring the heart tall. The head will come up. Lift the crown of the head to the sky. We'll take another inhale. And on the exhale, push your heart forward. So open up from your upper back. Don't let the head just drop back, but lower it back from as many of the vertebrae as you can find from behind the heart all the way up to the occiput in your skull. Slowly lowering it back, no pain in the spine, no dizziness allowed. Explore your end range. Inhale, head back to neutral. Nice. Take your hands, L-shaped hands. The thumbs will go on top of the thigh bones, the femurs. We find this platform. If we can find a platform, we can move the rest of the skeleton over that fixed platform. Inhale. Exhale. Press down onto the thighs and start to rock the pelvis forward. Your pelvis will move independently over those fixed femur bones. The sit bones will start to come up. Keep the chin lightly tucked, so you lead with the crown of the head, not the chin. And if it feels like you're going to fall forward, take your hands out in front of you, stretch them out. They're down dog, hands, index fingers forward, thumbs towards each other. Inhale. On the exhale, press the hands into the earth and slowly draw the elbows back towards the knees. What's happening here is a decompression of our spine, so we're finding length to the spine, not rounding the spine to come down to the ground, but the heart is leading. Maybe you can let your elbows release to the earth for Sphinx Arms. Keep the hands and elbows pressed and try to touch the top of your mat with the crown of your head. So again, not about flexing and letting the head down, but finding the extension, the length, the periscoping of the spine. Nice. Walk your hands back up again. Come back to tall sit position. And we'll switch our legs to the opposite cross now, your uncommon cross. And let's repeat what we've just done now in the uncommon cross, that forward fold. See if it feels any different. L-shaped hands. Tops of the thighs. Inhale. On the exhale, push down into the thighs. Rock the pelvis for that anterior tilt. Anytime we're bending forward, we want to bring the pelvis into this anterior tilt and the low back into its lordosis. Keep the chin tucked. Remember, lead with the heart towards the ground. When you feel like you're going to fall forward, take your hands to down doggy hands. Press the hands and palms into the earth. Bring the elbows back to the knees. Find that very long spine. And if your flexibility is there, put the elbows onto the earth or maybe slide a bolster underneath and pause here. Objective, long spine, decompression. Like I said at the beginning of practice, really working our hips and low back and legs today. See if you can find that opening. Walk your hands back up again. Let's go ahead and take the arms up, work the shoulders a bit. Wide spread fingers, we know what's coming. Elbows out to the side of the room. Pull the elbows away from the midline, trying to find some movement in the ball and socket. We'll take our thumbs back for hitchhiker shoulders. Inhale, and on the exhale, let the thumbs drop back. It's all from the shoulder, ball and socket, externally rotate. Inhale, shine them forward, and exhale, drop the laundry over the line, fingertips towards the floor, elbows out to the sides of the room. Bring them back up again on the inhale, and on the exhale, turn the thumbs, take them back, external rotation. Inhale forward, exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale, fly machine arms, take them forward. Keep the tricep flesh parallel to the floor, turn the hands so the palms face you. Inhale. Exhale, push the sides of the hands and elbows together and slowly take it up. The isometric press will strengthen your neck muscles and your shoulders, and we reset the whole shoulder girdle. Elbows will come up. When they start to come apart, pause. Take them apart now on the inhale, and on the exhale, bring the elbows down slowly through that thick fluid, resetting that shoulder blade. Good. Do it a few times. Taking it up, isometric press. Elbows apart, so graceful in our movements. Last one. Reminding you again, this is a great one to do at a stoplight if you're driving. Take a break from your desk or your cooking and reset. Light bulb hands. Find that Real easy feeling. Pronating and supinating our forearms, moving the energies through. Take it to the queen wave. Up overhead now for our hallelujah arms. Back down. Queen wave. Light bulbs. And shake them out. Arms come out to the sides. Reach your fingertips as far away from the midline as possible. Take the shoulders up to the ears. They love to live there, but we know better. Drop them down. No upper trapezius. So we're not rising up at the shoulder blades. That's where those muscles attach. Instead, use the deltoids and rotator cuff that are right around the shoulders for support. Grab your tennis balls. A tight flapping of our wings, lubricating the shoulder sockets, the ball in the socket, and moving the blood through our musculature. Fly down, up you go, down, up you go. Find the ease and grace in the movements. And let's see if we can change these arms now for our eagle arms. My favorite new sequence, right on top, left on bottom. Fingertips of left into palm of right if possible. Try to keep the tricep flesh parallel to the floor. Inhale. On your exhale, drive the right elbow into the left. We move the shoulder blades forward, protracting the shoulder blades. Inhale the arms back to neutral. And exhale, pinch the pencil between the shoulder blades and retract the shoulder blades behind you. Inhale it all back to neutral. And on the exhale, make a right hand turn with your arms. Feel the stretch in the back of the left shoulder, posterior deltoid, the posterior rotator cuff. Go ahead and turn the head now, look over the right shoulder. We've already kind of worked through the neck. Maybe it feels a little easier to turn now. Inhale the whole thing back to center. And on the exhale, left hand turn with the arms. Just take the arms around. Remember, if this is too much, unwind the arms a bit and you can have the elbows just right next to each other. Turn the gaze over left shoulder now. Inhale it all back to center. And on the exhale, elbows drop down. So don't round the back yet, just the elbows. Get a beautiful stretch of the lower traps and rhomboids. Then start to round the spine now. Left elbow will go towards the bottom of the rib cage, maybe your belly button. And then let the crown of the head release, finding full flexion here. Inhale back up. On the exhale, pull the low ribs and just the elbows go up. The shoulder blades will start to slide down the back. Imaginary hand behind the heart, the best cue on this one. Inhale. Exhale, and that hand is going to push your heart to the sky. The elbows are going to go up. We'll start to come into a back bend through that thoracic spine, and if you've got it in you, let your head release back, add the neck to it, and shine the elbow points towards the heavens. Inhale back to center. Exhale, release the arms, and they'll come up opposite side, left on top, right on bottom. Let's repeat. Inhale. Exhale, left into right. Draw the blades forward. Inhale back to center. Exhale, pull the blades back. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the right with the arms. Turn the gaze, look over the right shoulder. Inhale everything back to center. Exhale, just the arms to the left. Look over the left shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, elbows release. Just elbows first. Feel that yummy stretch and release of the back body. Start to round the spine now. Right elbow will go to the bottom of the ribs or the belly button. Let the weight of the head release. Feel that beautiful stretch and unwind. Inhale back up to center. Exhale, low ribs are in, elbows come up. Just the elbows first. Find your path through this. Imaginary hand behind the heart. Open the heart. Start to work up through that upper back. And maybe let the head release back. Inhale back to center. Release your arms. Wonderful. Let's do our side bender this morning. Have a block out to the right side. You might need it. Right hand on the ground. Left hand, same L shape. Hold the left thigh down. Our concentration here should be on left sit bone staying down, not so much to get the elbow to the earth. Inhale. Exhale. Hold the thigh down and start to bend the right elbow. The waistline will lengthen, the shirt pulling out of the waistband. If you've got the flexibility here, put your elbow down on the earth without your hip coming up. If not, that's what your block's for. Put your left thumb into the armpit. Inhale. And on your exhale, lengthen out your spine. Feel that. Feel that wonderful sense of a long spine. Use the left thumb again to rotate the heart towards the sky. Inhale the left hand up. And on the exhale, take the arm across. Reaching out, reaching out, reaching out. Fingertips reaching. And let the right ear release towards the right shoulder. Inhale yourself up. Bring your block with you if you need it. Exhale, left hand goes down. Right hand L shape onto the right thigh. Inhale. Exhale, start to lower the left elbow to the earth or to a prop. Once the elbow and hand touch the ground, that's our stability point, so we don't drop into it. It's the opposite. It bolsters us up. Right thumb into the armpit. Lengthen the spine. There's space in there. Use the right thumb to roll the heart to the sky, look up. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, take it across. Reach out. Maybe look up at the hand and feel that wonderful stretch and sensation from the right sit bone out the fingertips, right hand. Inhale back up, tall sit position. Nice. Okay, let's get on to all fours and open our hips and knees. Take your right foot back behind you, curl your toes under. Inhale, and on the exhale, let that right heel drive back. Feel the energy move up from the heel all the way up to the crown of the head. Maybe push the back of the right knee towards the sky and release the heel back a little bit more. Inhale, pull your body weight forward, come onto the tips of the right toes, round over under the top of the right foot for plantar flexion of that ankle. Pause for a moment there. Inhale. Exhale, roll through the toes and push the heel all the way back to the back of the room. Back, back, back it goes. Exploring the second time, a little bit of release, starting to move the fluids. Take righty forward, take lefty back on the inhale, and on the exhale, push it back, heel to the back, ground to the front. Back of the left knee up towards the sky. Pausing for a moment. Inhale the body weight forward, tips of the toes onto the top of the foot, round through it. Feel that articulation through all the toes and the tarsal bones. Inhale, exhale, roll through the toes and push back again. Feel that opening and awareness now in the back of the left leg. Draw the knees together. We'll do our broken toe stretch, getting a little easier over time, I hope, for many of you. Inside ankle bones and big toe knuckles touch as we slowly push our buns back towards our heels. It's a stretch of the soleus muscle, the one that doesn't cross the knee, in your calf, the neighbor to your gastroc. Start to walk your hands up and find your comfort level here. You can slide a block underneath your knees if it's too much, or put a blanket or bolster under. Fish out the fourth and fifth toes that are probably crunched up, and see if you can rest your sit bones down onto your heels. Put your hands on your thighs. Push down into the thighs to lift the heart. Oh my goodness, such a great release for the plantar aspect of our feet, irrigating the fascia. Release the middle fingers towards the earth. See if you can feel that grounding force, apanavayu. And let's go ahead and lift now. Take the arms to your side, bring them up. Interlace the fingers and then push the palms to the heavens. Ribs, low ribs in, back bend upper back, elbows by ears. Release the buttocks to the heels. Feel that amazing stretch. Release your hands back down to your sides. Take your hands back behind you, interlace the fingers, touch your palms together. The thumbs are on the arches of your feet. Spin the shoulders back. Inhale. Exhale, take the arms back behind you. Extended shoulders and elbows. Pinch the pencil between the shoulder blades. Maybe feel the stretch of the pectorals across the chest. Wonderful. Fingers towards the ground. Hands in the front of the mat. Release the feet. Go ahead and kick them out for a moment. And sit back now to your Virasana. Customize this as need be. Maybe a blanket underneath the instep of your feet. Maybe sitting on a block or a blanket. Right hand to right leg. Lift and clear the shin. Left hand, left leg. Lift and clear the shin. Take the hands back behind you now, thumbs onto the sides of the feet or the little toes. Bring the elbows in nice and tight. So they shouldn't be out to the side and internal rotation in your shoulder, but draw them in and find external rotation in the opening of the heart. Lean back a little bit more if possible. Inhale. On the exhale, lift your buttocks off your heels. And rather than creating an arch in your low back any more than there naturally is, push the front of the pelvis towards the sky. So it's not about your belly coming up, it's the pelvis pushing up to stretch our hip flexor muscles, our quadriceps. Let's let the sit bones release back down onto the heels. Pull yourself forward with your abdominals, and very slowly we decelerate to the ground. Gravity wants to take you down, but your muscles are working to slowly uncoil the child to the earth. When the forehead touches, inhale, exhale, let's come back up. Sit bones to heels, ribs come in, belly comes in, shoulders come up and around the hips. Lean back, knees together if possible. Inhale, and on your exhale, bend your right elbow, look over your right shoulder. Inhale back to center, bend the left elbow, look over your left shoulder. Inhale back to center, launch the child forward. We maintain the arch in the low back. We don't fall to the earth. We lower down using our muscles and the slinky spine. Touch the forehead down. Inhale, pull it back up again. Exhale, shoulders go over hips, hands release back, release back. Inhale. Exhale, let your head release back. Now modified camel, open the heart and find that opening. Bring your head back to neutral. You'll tuck the chin. Last time, launch the child forward. Decelerate down, warming up our spine, muscles, forehead touches. Inhale it back up again. Exhale, shoulders around, hands down towards the earth. See if you can touch your palms down to the ground. And then turn the hands the opposite way so the backs of the hands are now on the ground, and lean back. So we'll stretch the extensor forearm as we lean back into the tops of the hands. Nice. Pull yourself back up again. We'll dissolve into our wide child. Knees go wide. I'd like you to walk this out really slowly. So sit bones are back. We have the anchor back there. Start to walk your hands forward. The cat claw on the carpet. Almost the same thing we did at the start of practice when we were in half lotus came forward. It's The same movement, except now our legs are apart. So go into your down dog arms and pause. Let that dissolve into the Sphinx arms, elbows come down, and then put the forehead down on the ground, peer into the earth. Move your pelvis right and left. They're on the fixed femur bone, so you're lubricating the hip sockets and starting to get the deep muscles to release. Finding the different movements, right? Not everything goes along with every movement. We want to create the separate movement. Bring the pelvis back to neutral. Slide the hands back underneath the shoulders and press back up. Let's do the same exact thing. Just walk it out again, and maybe you'll feel the work that's already been done easier to come down. Shift pelvis right, shift pelvis left. Bring it back to neutral. Inhale your body weight up through scared cat. Move the knees back together. Exhale, move your body weight forward. Press the hands into the earth. Find stability in the shoulders and uncoil the spine. The pelvis will start to release towards the earth. This is a back bend. See if you can allow the gravity again in your awareness to create this beautiful back bend shape. If it's pinchy in your low back, put a block under your pelvis. Let's all bend our elbows now to put our pelvis down on the ground. Elbows stay in nice and tight. We find the extension through our spines. Inhale back up through scared cat. Exhale, knees go wide, big toes touch, and push back. Third time's the charm. Maybe you can feel again some of the work. Shifting pelvis right and left. Finding all these separate movements, dissociated movements. Pelvis back to neutral. Inhale up through scared cat. Take the feet apart. Exhale, come forward. Find stability in your arms and the grace and the unwinding of our beautiful spine. Shoulder blades release down the back. We bend the elbows. Put the pelvis down. Straighten the elbows out again. Inhale, exhale, look over the right shoulder. Inhale back through center. Exhale, look over the left shoulder. Inhale back through center. We'll return to the earth. Pelvis down. Slowly lower yourself all the way down to the earth and pause for just a moment. Make some pillow arms. Rock your pelvis right and left. Let's do reverse crazy legs now. So we're on our bellies rather than our backs. Bend your knees and have the soles of the feet to the sky. So actively trying to keep the feet in dorsiflexion like this. Inhale. On the exhale, start to let the legs come apart. It's only the hips that are moving, right, guys? So internal rotation of the hips here and a beautiful opening of our sacroiliac. Inhale the legs back together. The ankle bones will touch, and then take the right in front, left behind, and do your cross legs. That's external rotation. Inhale back through center. Exhale, you can push the tops of the thighs down a bit and let the legs come apart. Internal rotation and a sacroiliac mobilization. Inhale them back to center. This time, take right on top, left on bottom. See what that feels like. Go back and forth with this just a few more times. Internally rotate using the musculature to make it happen. Strengthening it up. Right goes under. They come back to center and out. And then left goes under. Finding dissociated movements. Trying to lube up the chassis. You got it. Bring the legs back to center. Inhale. On your exhale, push your pubic bone down into the earth. Find stability there. That will create or allow the core to work. And then take the right leg off the ground. Push the sole, the right foot up to the sky. That's all gluteus maximus. Inhale, and on your exhale, lower it down. Right leg. Push the pubis down. And on the exhale, lift the left leg. So maybe you can see here, I'm not rolling my pelvis. My pelvis is staying down. I'm just extending my hip. Let's do this a few times. Put the left leg back down.
Push the top of the thigh into the earth, push your pubis into the earth, and then lift the right leg. When our glutes get stronger, our hamstrings don't have to work so hard. They'll start to soften. Let's do one more other side. Put the right leg down, push pubis down, and take lefty up. So we're warming the glutes up, some awareness. So when we do Shavasana, now our locust pose, you've already warmed up the tissues. Let the legs out. Take your hands to your sides. Your forehead peers into the earth. Here comes a whole bunch of cues. Inhale. On the exhale, push the tops of the feet into the earth and the ankle bones together. Pull the imaginary egg up into the pelvis and lift your belly button away from the earth slightly. Push the pubis down like we just did, and your head, neck, shoulders, and arms will lift. No pinching in the low back. If you got pinching in the low back, you've come up too far. How much glutes do we use? About 20% of the power of squeezing a marble between your butt cheeks. The legs are still down on the first round here. Come along with me. Inhale, and on the exhale, come up a little bit higher. Take the hands up and use your back extensors to lift your chest away from the mat. Slowly lower that all back down and turn your gaze one side. Rest for a moment. We'll do several rounds. I'll add in a few components each time. If it feels like it's too much, just revert back to first pose. Look down at the floor. Inhale. Exhale. Push the top of the feet into the earth and together. Pull up the imaginary egg or elevator into your pelvis. Lift your belly button away from the floor and then push your pubis down. When you push the pubis down, it might feel like, okay, I can lift my head, neck, shoulders, and arms off the ground. The gaze is down. You're not looking forward, but a slight tuck of the chin. On this round, take your legs up. See if you can push the pubis into the ground again, and the legs are up. We'll just stay static here. See if you can rise up a little bit more through your upper back and your arms and maybe your legs. Put the legs back down, push the pubis into the earth. Slowly lower everything down and turn your gaze again, maybe the opposite side. Pause for a moment. Look down at the earth. Inhale. Exhale. Feet, tops of feet press into the earth, ankles together. Egg comes up into pelvis. Belly button comes from floor. Push pubis down. Head, neck, shoulders, and arms lift. Legs lift. Start to kick the legs now. This is gluteus maximus again. If you kick your legs with straight knees, don't bend the knees, you'll end up working those glutes a whole bunch, maybe even some of the hamstring. Bring the legs back to rest. Push the pubis into the ground. Slowly lower it all down. Turn the gaze opposite side. We'll do one more round, adding the arms to it. Look down to the ground. Inhale. Exhale, push the feet down together. Egg comes up, belly button lifts, pubis presses. We squeeze the imaginary marble between the butt cheeks. Head, neck, shoulders, and arms lift, legs lift. Take the arms forward if you can, and start to kick out the arms and the legs like you're kicking across your favorite body of water. Kick it out. The pubis pressing, no low back pinching. Stop the movements. Slide the hands back where they began. Push the legs down, pubis down. Lower yourself down to the earth. Slide the hands underneath the shoulders. Let's press up rather than from top to bottom, bottom to top for Cobra. See what that feels like now. Maybe you have found some extension through the spine. Push up onto all fours. Let's go through our cat-cows. Toes are curled under. Start from the tailbone. Stick your tail up, the happy dog. Right through the sacrum, lumbar spine, thoracic spine, cervical spine, look up. Inhale. On the exhale, keep the gaze up and start the opposite movement now. Curl the tailbone under. Send the spinal points up to the sky. Let the head release last. It dangles. Look back between your knees. Inhale. Exhale, repeat. Tailbone, sacrum, lumbar, thoracic, cervical spine. Look up. Inhale. Exhale, gaze stays up. Reverse. Start to bring the pelvis under. Press your spinal points towards the sky. Keep your eyes closed. Take maybe 15 seconds, 20 seconds or so. Get into the rhythm of movement in your spine. And then let it dissolve into what you want to do this morning to open things up. Maybe shifting right and left. Maybe doing a figure eight, bending the elbows. How about exploring your body or own sensations for a few here, giving your body what it needs. Good, let's do our twisted child now. We've prepped. Okay. Arch your back. Keep the arch in that low back. The sit bones with red laser beams to the back of the room. Try not to move the pelvis as we go through this. Take the right hand forward for a little bit better balance. Inhale the left hand out to the left side. Exhale, take the hand a little higher. You can take it really high if you shift your pelvis over. That is not the objective. We're trying to strengthen our back muscles and keep our low back and sacroiliac joints in a really stable place. Pause here. Strengthen those muscles. Inhale. Exhale, let's thread the needle. Take the left arm underneath, put the shoulder down, and the left side of the head, the temple down. Take your hand onto your sacrum. Be sure that the pelvis has stayed neutral. Left hand back, right hand back down onto the earth. Slide the left hand through your protractor shoulder blade. Turn the palm of the left hand up and down several times, and you'll articulate through that shoulder socket. Ball and socket. Arm comes to rest and slide it through maybe a little bit farther. Walk the right hand out now. The right hand walks straight up to the top of the mat. Start to feel the sensations. Take the right hand and walk it over towards the left. Maybe your right elbow will go over your right ear. Push your right hand into the ground and then rotate and look into the right armpit. Oh yeah, ribs up. Find that rotation. Keep your pelvis in neutral. Don't let the pelvis shift to the right. Slide the right hand back. It's going to end up in front of the left elbow. Inhale. On the exhale, push that right hand into the earth and create more rotation. So the push of the hand allows the pelvic or the rib cage to rotate. Watch that you don't shift the pelvis to the right. Take the right hand onto the sacrum. Press into the sacrum, middle finger towards the back of the mat. And as you press into the sacrum, maybe you'll get even a little bit more movement. If you can, take the right hand, fit it into the left hip crease. Use that as your impetus for even more rotation. Reminding you, rotation is ribs up. Low back shouldn't rotate. Take your right hand off wherever it is, put it back down onto the earth. Woo, pull yourself back up. Onto all fours, take a break for a sec, and we'll do the other side. Take your left hand forward onto the mat. Arch the back. Inhale the right hand out to the right. Exhale, take it higher. Don't shift the pelvis. Keep it in neutral. Strengthen through that upper back. Pause for a moment. Inhale, exhale, thread your needle. Take it under, slide through. Shoulder down, head down. Check the pelvis, stays in place. Right arm's going to slide through a little bit farther, and then turn the palm up and down several times to move the ball in the socket. Have it come to rest, palm is up, and take the left hand forward onto the mat, the cat claw on the carpet. Feel that beautiful side body opening. Cruise the left hand around to the right. Maybe you can get your elbow over by your ear. Push your hand to the earth and find that rotation through the rib cage. Heart releases to the ground, hand slides back, ends up in front of the right elbow. Inhale, exhale, left hand pushes the earth. Rotate through, watch the pelvis. Maybe you can take the left hand, thread it through the front of the right hip, use that as your pull. Release, hand to the earth, push yourself back up. Let's go into a little seated twist. Now that we have prepped our rib cage, take right over left. If you'd like to, sit on your blanket. If you're feeling like you're rounded, sit up on the blanket, big toe, right foot on the ground, hands on the knee. We find this open heart. Reminding you yet again, if you're sitting in flexion, you can't rotate. The bones don't mesh. We need to be in neutral or a little bit of extension. Arms up. Inhale. On your exhale, do your 12-second rule, left side, one rib, 12 of them, moves with each second. Bottom of the ribs, we know where that is. The top rib is under your collarbone. So as you start to work up through this, when you get up into the upper chest, you know you reach the end, pause. Inhale back through center, exhale opposite. So the closed twist. 12-second rule, right side. Of course, the left side is going to come along with it, but concentration on rotating through right ribs. Take it around. Inhale back through center. Repeat same thing. Maybe you can feel how your brain has educated the muscles on how to help, and then release the arms and use the arms to help to add a little bit more movement. Inhale back through center, exhale right. Release the arms, use those again for extra added movement. Beautiful, guys, bring it back. Take your hands down, lean back, and try to use just the muscles to switch the legs around. Use your blanket if you need, or your block. Come sit into your comfy place, big toe knuckle left foot on the earth, hands on the knee, big open heart. Same thing, opposite side. Arms come up, inhale. Exhale, make a right hand turn, 12-second rule. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Inhale back through center. Left hand turn, 12-second rule. Inhale back through center. Exhale right. Arms will release. Use those to help to wring out the dish rag. Inhale back through center. Exhale left. Release. Twist. Inhale back through center. Let's sit for a moment with the soles of our feet together and move your body back so the heels aren't so close to the groin. You've got kind of a diamond shape between the legs here. Take your thumbs onto the arches of your foot and just do a little self-massage for a moment on the medial arch of the foot, the inside arch. Corresponds to our spine in reflexology, so let's hit up some of these spots for a moment. Good. Take your hands now either around your feet or around your shins, depending on your flexibility. Inhale. And on your exhale, roll up onto your sit bones. So you're moving your pelvis. We've been doing all of this for the last hour or so, moving the pelvis into place. Put the elbows down on the insides of the legs and use the pull of the hands and the lengthening of the spine to try to bring yourself forward. So not towards the ground, but forward. The hood ornament again, pulling the spine long out of the bowl of the pelvis. Release yourself, come back to tall sit. Let's find ourselves on our backs, however you'd like to get down there. And we'll move into bridge pose, the opposite of our Shalabhasana. Knees bent, feet on the ground. Arms lengthened out to your side. Most of us, middle fingers will touch heels. If your arms are short, they won't. I'd like you to turn your hips in slightly, so not just your toes turning in, but the whole hip will turn in slightly. Yes. Arms are at your side, palms are up. Inhale. On the exhale, lift your toes off the ground. Not your heels, your toes. Lift them up, strengthen the extensors in the toes, and then release them down. Don't grip the ground with the toes. Inhale. Exhale. Push the feet, the soles of the feet down into the earth. Can you guys feel as we push the soles of the feet into the earth, your back muscles fire up? Those are your deep core stability muscles. Pull the imaginary egg up into the bowl of the pelvis and tack your belly down towards the ground. And at that point, lift the hips. If all that is working, you can't lift your pelvis quickly. It has to come up slowly. Check that you're not gripping the ground with your toes and push the pelvis up a little bit higher. Again, we've prepped you on this, right? We did the seated Virasana, opening up the front of the pelvis. Hopefully you can feel the work. Take your hands underneath your back, interlace your fingers. Do your shimmy shoulders. The right will come under blade, and then the left. See if you can get the outside border of your forearms down on the ground, and pause here for a moment. Take the elbows down to the earth for your robot arms. We squeeze the imaginary energy glow between the hands. Inhale. And on the exhale, push the elbows into the earth and look down at your heart. Your heart comes at your face. So in bridge now, we're opening up, ribs up. Don't go any more into your low back, but see if you can find the uncharted territory of that thoracic spine. If it works for you, take your fingertips straight up to the sky and push your shoulder blades into the earth. You can see my head isn't pressing the earth, it's the shoulder blades. If possible, take the arms up over the head, lay the arms back. Maybe you can put the back of one hand in the palm of the other. Maybe take the right hand to the left wrist and lengthen out the side. Do the same on the other side. It's amazing how much space there is. Inhale the arms back up. Exhale, put the elbows down. Release the arms. And real slowly start to release the spine to the ground. We're going to skip the low back. So when you get to the bottom of your rib cage, keep the arch in the low back, imprint the sacrum, what a cool feeling, and put the soles of the feet together for Baddha Konasana legs. Do your pinwheel legs left and right. Hopefully you can feel all the pieces warming up here, right? Let's do the same thing again in our bridge. Reminding you, try not to have it happen from your low back only, but let's share it through the upper back. Hands to the outsides of the legs, move the legs back together. Feet hip distance apart. Turn the hips in slightly, arms up the side. Inhale. On the exhale, push the whole sole of the foot into the ground. Feel the back muscles fire up. Pull the egg up into the pelvis, tack the belly down, feel the spine slowly peel off the earth as you lift. Ideally, the pelvis in neutral here, finding the length from your knees to your hips, one long line. Take your hands underneath your back, interlace your fingers, do your shimmy shoulders, they come underneath you. Look at your heart. Comes at your face, add the elbows to it, elbows press, heart to face. Take your arms straight up. Take them up overhead. Rest the arms on the floor behind you. Pushing the hands into the ground fires up some of the stability muscles. Inhale the arms back up. Exhale, elbows go down, arms go down. Release the body down very slowly to the earth. Skip the low back. Imprint the sacrum, soles of the feet together. Baddha Konasana, pinwheel legs. We'll do one more round like we did with our Shalambhasana. We'll do single leg bridge this time. And if it feels like it's too much for you, just stay with doubles. Hands to the outsides of the legs. Move the knees together. Feet apart. Same setup. Inhale. Exhale, push the feet into the earth. Start to bridge up off the ground. Come into your expression there. And then take the right foot to the center of the mat. So we're not going to use the arms here. Inhale. On the exhale, push the sole of the right foot into the earth. You can probably feel the whole chain igniting here, the right butt cheek, nice and stable. Take your left leg off the floor now, but don't let the left butt cheek sag. You'll have to find the strength of that left glute to hold us stable. If this feels ridiculous and way too much for you, just use both legs. Let's make this so elegant in our transition. Bend your left knee, put your foot on the ground in the center, and as your left foot pushes into the mat, fire it all up, the core, and then straighten your right leg. Let's go back and forth side to side a few times. Elegant. Right foot hits, push into the right foot, find the stability across the whole pelvis, and straighten lefty. Bend lefty, center of the mat, push into the foot, find your stability, straighten righty. One more time, guys. Right foot back down, straighten lefty. Both feet to the earth, take them apart a little bit. Let's finish the bridge. Take the hands underneath, shimmy shoulders, robot arms. Arms come up, arms go overhead. Back to neutral, elbows down, hands down, uncoil the spine, let it down, real easy. Right into crazy legs, knees together, feet apart, arms out in a T. Inhale. On your exhale, let your right leg slide down the inside of your left shin. Remember, the left leg doesn't just drop over. We keep it connected so we strengthen the muscles. It's not about letting the left leg drop to the earth. Inhale the legs back up, neutral position. Exhale, left slides down inside of right. Go back and forth many times with this. Try to keep the legs moving the whole time as we add the other body parts into it. Just do the legs for another round or two. And when you feel like the legs are doing their thing, take the thumbs into the elbow creases, the forearms are above the chin, and the arms are going to go to the right as the legs go to the left. Inhale, they come and meet in the center, and exhale opposite. Left slides down inside of right, and the arms come to the left. Work this back and forth many times. Wringing out the dish rag, feeding our endocrine system, feeding our spines, lubricating our joints, strengthening our muscles, so much going on. Add the head to it now. Bring it back up to center, and as the legs go left, the head goes left, but the arms go right. So the head follows the knees. Bring them back up, head and knees right, arms left. Inhale back up, head and knees left, arms right. We'll add the eyeballs now, bring them back up to center. Head and knees to the right, eyeballs and elbows to the left. Inhale to center, head, knees left, eyeballs, elbows right. One more each side. Back up to center. All right. Let's roll over on our left side for open book chalk trace. So hips, knees, and ankles are at 90 degrees. Palms are touching. Head is on a prop or resting comfortably on the ground. Inhale. Exhale. Trace your right hand over the left forearm, left biceps, and have it come to rest on your heart. Imaginary block behind your low back, not letting you roll. Inhale. On the exhale, lift the right elbow up towards the sky. Do your 12-second rule. See how the progression is going here now. We've warmed it up. See if you can allow that spine to rotate and unwind. If the right elbow is far from the earth, put a block or a blanket or a bolster under. We know how to get a little more rotation than the left elbow, fingertips to the sky. Inhale. On the exhale, push the left elbow into the earth, lift the heart, and rotate through it. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, push the left elbow into the earth, heart rises, and rotate, and unfurl the arms if you're in a position here where they're fairly close to the earth. Pause for a moment. Inhale the right hand up, grab the cloud off the sky, imprint it onto the left palm, and then slide the hand through to protract the shoulder blade. You move your heart towards the ground. We'll repeat exactly what we just did. Inhale. And on your exhale, trace your hand up your forearm, over the biceps. Knees stay glued together. Elbow comes up. Do the 12-second rule. Rotate through the rib cage. Then the left elbow, inhale, exhale, left elbow pushes down, lift the heart and rotate. Press the elbow down, rotate, and open. Inhale, right hand up, grab the cloud off the sky, imprint it onto left palm and slide it through. Let's move into chalk trace now. So same start position, palm to palm. Hips, knees, and ankles 90 degrees. Imaginary piece of chalk between thumb and index of right hand. It's on the earth. Inhale. On your exhale, look at your fingers as you take your hand up above your head. A hand must stay in contact with the earth. If it starts to leave the earth, that's where you stop. If your mobility is there, you'll see you'll trace it all the way around. You kind of rotate to the crown of the head, around the bend, and come around to your 180. So if you're nowhere near that, and this is the beginning of it, you'll see the progression if you continue to practice. Let's come back to start position again. Inhale. Exhale, trace it up over the head again or wherever you're starting at and bring it back to your start place. Repeat. Inhale. Exhale, take it up. Maybe you'll see second round. We've shifted tides. We've moved some of the fluids. We've lubricated the joints, and maybe it's a slightly easier rotation. Take it back again. Inhale and exhale. Come back to start. Okay, let's move our bodies now. Use our core before we do the other side. Inhale. Exhale, slide your right hand up your forearm, over the bicep, onto the chest. Rest there. You need to use your core to bring your legs up. Inhale. Exhale, pull your belly in, pull your egg up, lift the legs, the knees will come up. And as they pass center, the right arm unfurls, the left arm comes over. We just did it. Open book. And we land on the right side. Slide it through. Inhale. Exhale, just the hands, slide it up, forearm, bicep, onto the chest, rest for a moment, elbow up, inhale, exhale, pull the belly in, pull the egg up, start to bring the legs up, abdominal obliques, and then continue, bring the arm up, palms will touch. Let's do one more. Inhale, exhale, draw the hand up, elbow up, use your core, pull the legs up, unfurl the arm, legs come over. We end up on the right side. Slide it through. Inhale. Exhale, drop through again. Elbow up. Core. Bring you around. And come to position. Good. Let's switch to the other side now. So onto the right side. So either just turn your body or bring it around on the other side. Let's do the same thing. Start on the right side. Again. Exhale, draw the left hand up. Onto the heart, lift the elbow. Take it around. Explore this side. Is it completely different than the other? Maybe. Right elbow bends this time. Push it into the ground and rotate. Push it into the ground and rotate. Unfurl the arms. Inhale. Exhale, lift up, cloud off the sky. Imprint it onto right palm. Slide it through, protract the blade. Same thing. Inhale. Exhale, like you're drawing a thread and needle through the fabric, right? Elbow. Around. Land. Use the right elbow pressing into the earth to lift the heart and rotate. Lift the heart and rotate. Oh yeah, unfurl. Inhale. Pull it around, exhale. Touch down, protract through. Come back to your start position, palm to palm. Let's do chalk trace. Imaginary chalk between index and thumb left hand. Inhale. Exhale, take it up and over. Watch your hand with your eyes. If your flexibility is there today, you'll roll right through it and bring it around. Maybe a little sticky on the first round. Pause at the end at 180. Inhale. Exhale, take it back through. Rotate around. Come back to home position. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, take it up overhead. Rotate around. Inhale back through. And exhale to start position. Let's use our core and roll on this side too. Inhale. Exhale, slide your hand up your forearm, bicep, chest, elbow lifts. And as the elbow starts to come over, use your core. Legs will come up, hand will come around, and you end up on your left side. All very slow movements. Protract the blade through. Inhale it back through. Exhale, lift the legs as the right arm comes back down onto the ground. Protract through, last one. Inhale, exhale, draw it through, arm. Use the core, pull the legs up, obliques, roll over. Find yourself on the left side, protract the blade. Slide it through and bring it back. Right side. Nice. All right. Find yourself on your back again. Take your legs, draw them up towards your chest. Take your arms around the shins. Maybe you can grab your wrist and draw the knees closer to the chest. Go ahead and roll your low back off the floor a little bit, provided you don't have an active disc problem. Inhale, and on exhale, move your nose between your knees. Come into your flexion ball. Put your head back down on the ground, and by your head, I mean the back of the skull, not the crown. And here's the yummiest part for me. Put your sacrum down. So the legs will have to release, the hands go to the knees, and put your sacrum down. When the sacrum goes down, the low back arches, and we find some space there. Here's a beautiful decompression move. Inhale. On the exhale, push your sacrum into the earth and push your knees up into your hands. It's a complete decompression of your whole low back. Slowly release the press of the knees to the hands and release the sacrum. Pause for a moment. Inhale. Exhale. Push the sacrum down. What happens? Your low back arches and you find anterior tilts of the pelvis. We love that. Pull the hands down, push the knees up, and decompress that low back. Maybe you got some cracks and snaps. Maybe you can just feel the energies and the fluids moving through. That's beautiful. Release. One hand on each knee. Do some circles with your hips, knees together to apart. And then apart together. So just opposite movement, clockwise and counterclockwise. We have prepped ourselves so well for our final pose, combining so much of this. Bring the legs to tabletop, 90-90-90 hip, knees, and ankles. Sacrum presses the earth. We're not flattening our backs. Take the right leg over the left with the power of the legs if possible. Use your hands only when you need to. Take the right foot behind the left calf or to keep it rested on the side. Heels go down. Slide the legs a little bit longer. They don't go that far. Toes are up, heels are down. Let's use the right leg to stretch the left side body. Inhale. On the exhale, right leg is going to draw the legs over towards the right side, and you'll get a stretch in the waistline down into the musculature in your lateral thigh, your gluteus medius, and tensor fasciae lata muscle. Bring the legs back to neutral. That means the knees are to the sky. And let's roll it now. We've done all this prep. Hopefully you'll feel it. Inhale. On the exhale, left hand on the outside of the right thigh. Roll over onto your left side. Head's on the ground or on a prop. Look down. Your right knee must stay on the earth. Right hand on the heart. We just did this. Inhale. On the exhale, take your right elbow up and rotate through that spine. The twisted child, the open book, it all prepped you. So see if you can feel, oh my goodness, I can actually locate this movement in my thoracic spine. Use that left elbow one more time to lift the heart and rotate. I want you to rest for a breath or two in your full expression of the pose. Inhale the right hand up to the sky. Grab the cloud. Imprint it onto your left palm. Roll back onto your back. Bring the legs up. Uncross them. And cross them up now opposite way. Left over right. Foot behind calf if possible. Heels on the ground. Lengthen your legs. Let's use lefty to stretch righty. Inhale. Exhale, use the left leg and draw the legs over towards the left side. Bottom of the rib cage, all the way down into that right lateral thigh, all that yummy musculature, connective tissue, getting the attention it needs. Bring the legs back up to neutral position. Let's roll it now. Inhale. Exhale, right hand on the outside of that left thigh. Roll it over onto the right side. Use a prop for your head if it's not comfy on the ground. Look at your left knee, it stays down. Left hand on the heart, elbow comes up. Inhale. On your exhale, lift your left elbow. Roll through that rib cage, 12-second rule. Use the right elbow to help for a little more rotation if possible. Dock down on left or put a prop down maybe. Left knee stays down towards the earth. Turn your gaze towards your left hand. Pause here for a moment. Inhale the left hand up, grab the cloud off the sky, imprint it onto the right palm, slide it through. Go back onto your back. Uncross your legs. Take your legs really long down on the mat and take your arms up over your head. Pause here for a moment. Feel what you have done with your practice, not just for your physical bodies, but for your minds. I know that my whole perspective now is different. Task at hand. We found the tools and the ways to take ourselves out of the fray and all the noise. Balance our scales. Take your hands to your side, grab your mat with your fists. Inhale. On the exhale, push your hands down towards your feet. Your body will slink up the mat an inch or two. Maybe mechanically bring your shoulder blades underneath you and turn your palms up, let your legs release. Cover your eyes if it's convenient. We'll start our journey into Shavasana. Perhaps one of the most important poses of the practice. Kind of seals the deal.
Touch the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth behind your teeth. It's a still calming point. Trace the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth and stimulate all the relaxation spots. Your brain gets the message that this organism is moving into relaxation. Let your tongue release now to the bottom of your mouth. The lips will part slightly. We find that soft, vacuous mouth. No tongue and no teeth, no gripping, no grinding. But a very easy, soft sensation. We'll do our tongue bath today. Nothing more than allowing the saliva to build up in your mouth, reminding you that when your brain perceives you are salivating, it sends you into relaxation. We only salivate more heavily when we're about to eat or when we're in relaxation. Again, think of falling asleep on a warm beach, the drooling. So I'm going to give you a few minutes now. Let yourselves drift out to one of your favorite places. And again, maybe you're there already on your mat in your cozy room. And take a few minutes here of nothingness. So your concentration is on your sweet place, and then let that go and you'll see you'll drift off. Take a few minutes here. In just a moment, I'm going to ask you to swallow. And please know that when you do, that saliva, with all of its relaxation components, will coat your throat, down into your stomach, and over the next few hours will make its way down through the whole GI tract. And as it does, it will inspire the calming release of the tension and agita, belly upset, create this beautiful pathway for calmness to encompass your system. Go ahead and swallow and feel it as it makes its way down. Later on, when you're feeling really yummy, remember your practice and our community supporting each other. Find the marble on the back of your skull and let your head rock very slowly side to side. Waking the system, bringing ourselves around. When you're ready, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, waking the physical body. And maybe reluctantly bend your knees, slide your heels towards your buttocks, glue your knees and ankles together and roll over onto your right side for our transition position. Transition position often inspiring thoughts of kindness, of generosity, of altruism and seva, compassion and empathy, like-mindedness. We remember here our loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. And may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to that happiness and to that freedom for all. When you're ready, inhale, and on your exhale, draw yourself back up to a seated place. Come back where we started. Maybe feel the difference in your system, in your minds. Maybe a calmness has come over you. I hear from so many people, why are you so mellow and so calm? All I have to say is yoga. Draw the energy up from the earth to your heart center, thumbs to the heart. The heart will rise, and we'll pause here to remind ourselves to be so grateful for all we have. Inhale. On your exhale, let your hands float forward. Fingertips touch, fingernails touch, hands open like a lotus. From around the world, draw the energy into your heart centers. Backs of the hands roll, thumbs to heart. Take your thumbs to your third eye. Still contemplation, point all seeing eye, ESP it's our clarity spot. Let's bow to the magnificence of this blue-green planet. Namaste. Thank you, yogis. This was my first solo journey on Sundays. Tiffany and Ike are not with me today. I hope everything went smoothly. If you got any feedback, please let us know. I'm going to hang out for a little bit. Would love to chat with some of you that are still hanging around.